What's going on, everyone? My name is BoIt and I'm back with some more Age of Titans action. Spawning in the left of the map in the blue color playing Zeus is the one, the only, TheMista. So his opponent today spawning in the red color on the right side of the map playing Oasis is HellsRavage. This matchup is a best of 5 series. It was the semi-finals for the current Age of Titans tournament. Obviously, like, it's for the best of the best. The best of the best have been playing in this tournament. There have been some really good games, and I can't stress that enough. Magyar's back. Magic played in it. I think Adafang played in it. Some very good games. Definitely head over to RTS-Sanctuary and download some of those recorded games and watch them yourself. Learn from them, enjoy them, whichever way you want to do it. That's been really good. Sponsored tournament. I think it's $20 on the line or something. Not much, but it's really got these guys together and made some nice Age of Titans action happenings, and I'm really excited to watch this game between these two players. Hells has been playing really well of late. He did get to the semi-finals, which is a feat in itself, but Mysta, he's been dominating left, right and center. The only person who has stood in his way so far has been Magyar, but Magyar's been crushing people. It's just been not fair. And I'm really interested to see how Mysta's going to play this matchup out, especially with the aggressive nature which has been brought back into this game with Magyar's set style, and everyone noticing that how good aggression is in this game with certain gods. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm expecting, honestly, centaurs, just because the map's low hunt. There's never much hunt on Oasis. Even if you find there's a pack of giraffe, really, that's really not considered hunt. Like, it's not low hunt, but it's not high hunt at all. And just because you see giraffe doesn't mean you should do some high hunt strategy. Like, basically, you've got all of these goats, and that's where the majority of your food income is going to be in the classical age, and you have to account for that. We know that food does not come as fast from goats. You got to get husbandry to get those goats more fattened up and faster to gather for, of course. However, there's just not much food that comes in, so you can't go like heavy hoplite, you can't go fast mythic, you can't do that sort of stuff. Granted, these town centers are really good for a sort of mythic play, and we might see some sort of semi-fast mythic. You might go centaurs and try and apply some pressure, and then back off once that pressure's over, and then go straight to the mythic age, which is really smart off 3 town centers. But interesting, we'll see what's going to happen. For the Isis player, what I've really been loving of late when I'm playing Isis is advancing really quickly, especially against Greek people. Like 4:30 at the latest, getting 3 priests and your pharaoh, and just moving forward to a forward hunt spot and harassing them, because there's nothing they can do. If they have a Jason out, well, whatever, I'm just going to micro. You have 1 unit, I have 3 who got ranged and can fight. Like, you can't stop that, and he's going to have to back off, and you've got map control. Safety, safely enough, you're going to get to the heroic age without any pressure, and then you just go from there. It's really powerful, and if you play Isis, you've got to start incorporating that sort of style in your game. It's hard, and I'm not going to lie, like, it's distracting, and it will take time for you to gather what you need. You need to have the resources to get to the heroic age, as well as these resources invested into these priests, as well as the multitasking to be able to get to the heroic age while applying this pressure without losing those priests, because you sort of need them just to defend while you have nothing out. If you see like a bunch of Hippocon coming at your base and there's 3 priests there, as well as the tower, the opponent's more likely to back off than if there's just a tower there. Anyhow, especially also we do see that there are 2 villagers already gathering favor. Looks like Mysta wants to be heading to the classical age as soon as possible. He's gathering a bunch of food from these chicken, and he's almost got enough. And he's actually stopped queuing up villagers, so he wants to, actually no, he hasn't. He's queued up that final villager there, and then he's going to want to hit that classical age. It's probably going to be a 4 or 5 because he missed a villager at some point for 10 instead of the 415 with 21 villagers. Probably only going to have 20 villagers, so a little bit of screw up there economically, but that's okay for him. He's now going to be chopping this wood here and here. It's always good to be chopping at 2 different points, but the thing is, and it's not big, but every little thing helps in this game. You see this storehouse? These villagers are all really close to it, but only these 2 villagers are being efficient. These 2 villagers need to be over from that tree and that tree. That way their walking distance is not going to be bumping into any others, and it's going to be a lot quicker. Same with over here. That villager is the only one that's really efficient. You can send 1 villager over there, leave this villager here, because that's not that bad of a walking distance. But if you're there, or those 2 there, it's going to be really efficient. I think those little things, they're not really vital in any way, shape or form, but I think they're really important once you get to these high levels of play, because that 250 wood could be 300 wood now, it could be 350 wood now. Like, those little things are what get you that extra resource to make that extra house which you need, or that extra centaur, or that extra toxito, and get to the next age faster. And those little timings, they build up, and instead of being 30 seconds late for a timing attack, you can be 30 seconds and you can be on time, and you can make it even earlier. Anyhow, we do see Hermes and Hells is going through Basta at similar times. It looks like Hells doesn't actually have many priests out. We look at his Frog of War, we do see he's got good vision, so he knows what's coming when it comes, obviously, and he's got the Sphinx out to defend. He's got a Pharaoh here. I don't know what he's doing running around. And it looks like he's going to be going straight to the Heroic Age, just because he's got this really nice gold mine back here which can't be harassed. I would really prefer him to be gathering from this giraffe first, because if you can shoot them closer to the granary, it's 300 food close to the granary. It's better than having 150 food gazelle here. If you're gathering from giraffe, obviously. And look at this. This is really bad here. You need it's not it's not really bad. It's just really inefficient, right? If you can get these giraffe right next to your granary, the walking distance makes such a huge difference. I would actually throw a granary up here, because in the time it takes to finish gathering from these giraffe, you're going to have gathered more food than if you hadn't built that granary. So the centaur coming up, Jason coming up, they're going to try and push off these giraffe here, killing off any vision that's possible. He's actually getting the anvil of Hephaestus, going to let his armor upgrades going to be cheaper, so we might see some sort of heroic timing or something like that. We just see the barracks going up a little bit late, not really sure about that, a little bit indecisive, but it does look like Hells does have all of the hunt in this game, and the hunt over here, really nice defensive position. The only thing that he has to worry about is securing one of these gold mines, which are all they're all kind of hard to secure because they're all behind a forest, so you have to really commit to it. You need to have that migdol right there, or that one's going to be really difficult to secure, or that one there is going to be really difficult to secure. So that's what he needs. He's going to have a migdol right there. I'm going to have some sort of wall over here, and just to defend that, because it's going to be fairly difficult. Maybe even a wall over there if he wanted to. So I'm interested to see exactly how he's choosing to play this out. We do see that town center wants to be grabbed by Mr. He did see that Hells has grabbed that town center, and he's going, okay, well, you're going to boom, I'm going to boom. Like, fair enough. A booming Isis does, in my opinion, equal the same strength as a booming Zeus, because the longer an Isis player booms, the closer the Zeus player is to Mythic Age. And you have to think about how strong Zeus is in Mythic Age, with Myrmidons, with Colossi, with all armory upgrades really quickly because of those that Hephaestus upgrade and all that other good stuff. So we do see Mr. sitting at 33 favor. He's not really using anything, and he's just spamming villages at the moment. He doesn't actually even have a stable. Oh, I love this so much. God, I wish people would just like think when they're playing, and Mr. just thinks, and it's really nice to see. Mr. sees that Hells is going for a 2-town center uptime. I just want to see. He hasn't actually seen anything in the base, but granted, he hasn't seen anything out of the base, so you know that Hells is going to be playing defensively. You know Hells is going to go to the Heroic Age. What you're giving up, however, is that pressure to stop this gold mine from being taken. However, he's going to have 3 town centers up. He's going to have all of this food income because he's going to have that wood to transfer into farms, and he's going to be able to spam villages like there's no tomorrow. He's going to hit max villager population if he's got them on auto queue for the entire time, but like 13 minutes, and it's going to be really difficult to for Hells to deal with. However, that being said, what Hells' response should be now is to slap a migdol like right here. Ancestors Eclipse, if you need to throw it up, you probably shouldn't because there's no units to stop it, and then just go aggressive, just because Mister's going to have no army for the next 5 minutes. Basically, that's what it's going to be. Do see a stable and an archery range going up now, and that's basically means no army for 5 minutes. Like, he's going to have a couple of things, but it's not going to be much. We do see Mister now grabbing the Eye of Horus, the Anvil of Hephaestus, and we do see Hells going straight to the Mythic Age. He's got a couple of Spearmen, a couple of Priests, a couple of Sphinx, and a Scorpion Man, and it looks like he's going to go over to this location to throw up his migdol. I hope he does throw it up in a good location. And there's really nothing which Mr. actually is going to throw up here. Alright, I don't mind this, but that being said, a wall here is much better than a wall here. Just because once you grab that town center, there's no real reason for it to come through this location, and Migdol here can stop that happening. Granted, it doesn't really matter. He can throw up that wall over here really easily, and it won't really matter at all. And we do see Mista trying to come in here. He's going to have to back off. It's nothing he can do. Just taking 3 damage at the moment. Scouting out, knows that this location's going to be taken, and Mista's now going to just go, okay, you have that gold mine. I don't care. I've got 3 town centers. I'm going to have a lot of economy. I'm just not going to fight you until I'm ready. Like, I can choose when to fight you now because well, actually no. He has to kind of hope that Hells just backs off. But the thing is, technically he can choose when to fight. What he can do with Ceasefire, and I think Ceasefire is one of the strongest god powers in the game because of this reason, right? If you hear me out, what Ceasefire can do is it can dictate when a fight can happen and when it can't. Obviously because it can stop fighting. So what you can do is you can say, well, my opponent has to build military, but I don't, because I can dictate when we're going to fight. I can say, okay, I'm not going to build any military, I'm just going to get economic upgrades, and then you can see your opponent wants to fight now, you don't have the military to deal with that. Okay, Ceasefire, spend the next minute throwing up 4 or 5 stables and archery ranges, spam units as a fight goes on right now, but anyhow, you can spam units like no tomorrow, and then when the Ceasefire is up, you have better army than him, you have better everything than him. As Ancestors Eclipse goes off in a really bad use because there's a wall right here. I hate that so much. If we look at Hells' perspective, he doesn't know there's a wall here. Never just use Ancestors Eclipse. Never, ever, 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 unless you have to. There was no reason to use it then, and that's got to be one of the worst wastes I've seen in a while. A thing about Zeus is you don't want to have to deal with Ancestors Eclipse, obviously. And the thing is, you shouldn't use it unless you're dictating a fight, or you have to definitely use it. Hells was under no pressure here. He could have just retreated to this Migdol, maybe lost a chariot, whatever. He still has Ancestors Eclipse, it's fine. But yeah, he's under no pressure. Now, Hells is going to push in here, and he's going to have no extra force in his army. And we do see that Mista is actually sitting at the 119 of 122, actually 121 of 121 population. So you can basically deal with this army really easily with micro, and we're going to actually see that probably soon. And then Mista can just go straight to the Heroic Age, and then bypass Heroic Age altogether because he has so many resources coming in, and then go to Mythic Age. Hephaestus, all armory upgrades in no time flat because they're worth nothing because they're so cheap with that upgrade, and then just go from there. I wouldn't mind seeing Mr. upgrade Bowsaw if he hasn't got it already. Yeah, if he upgrades Bowsaw, then he can transition into farms, and then he can just skip ages and get to the Mythic Age like 16 minutes or something right now. And we're going to see that Hells has to back off now just because, well, he's missed his timing. He let the Ancestors Eclipse do nothing. Mista now has a bunch of army. As I said, it was 8 minutes when I said 5 minutes-ish, and now 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. About that long later, Mista now has an army which he can use. And Hells has missed any timing he can because he just wasted Ancestors Eclipse because he was scared that maybe Mista was going to come in and like try and do something when there's a Migdol there. It didn't make all too much sense. Now, Hell's going to be pushing forward now. I would really hope to say that he's got his economy upgrades going. I really think he needs to throw up that town center though instead of this, just because he's falling behind in economy, and he's falling behind economically by a lot just by not having that town center and that villager population going. I mean, he's sitting at full population as well, and he hasn't even thought about getting fortified town centers. So he really should just grab those villages, or grab those villages and grab that town center, because it's good. Like, having town centers is probably the best thing in this game. Like, if you have 4 town centers, you're more than likely going to win the game. If you have 3 town centers versus 3 town centers, you're more than likely going to be able to keep up in economy. If you've got no town centers and your opponent's got 5 town centers, you're more than likely lost the game. Like, that's how it is. Anyhow, we do see that Mista going to be sending some villagers over this corner. Looks like he wants to throw up a market, get his trade happening. Sure, fair enough. The thing is, in this matchup, with these town centers, having lots of gold, not a priority. You don't need lots of gold because you can't spam mercenary. You're going to have to make something happen on one of these town centers. If I was Hells, what I would do is I would be moving around here, throwing a Migdol down here, and then trying to push into this town center right here, because it's the most, it's the least protection. Next. And like with four War Elephant, Siege Tower, and maybe Meteor, you can take that out. Excuse me. We do see Hells almost has the resources to go to the Mythic Age right now. We do see Mr. on the other hand already going through Apollo, so we can make something happen with Apollo. You can get a nice underworld onto this location or onto this location. And he does have ceasefire still, so he can sort of underworld Colossi with Heliopoli into ceasefire to take the town center, Fortitude town center advantage, hold that location with superior army, and go from there. You can see already, look at that economy, holy shit, throw up a market, you're in the Mythic Age already, 16 minutes and 30 seconds if he had done that instantly, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had thrown up a market, and there it is, there's the market. So he's going to be going to the Mythic Age straight away, which I love. It's how you're supposed to play this matchup when you can't gold starve. It's really, really, really ridiculously powerful. Isis's strongest moment is now, like in the Heroic Age, and he's trying to hit this timing, and he's moving in, but the economy of Mista is just going to be so strong. But Hells on the other hand, going through Osiris, wants to deal with stuff through the Osiris. He knows that Mista's going to be going to the Mythic Age, he knows he needs those mummies to deal with those Colossi, and he knows he needs that Osiris, but Bolt's still up, and that's going to deal with that more than enough there. And Hells is going to have to be really careful with monument placement and where he's going to leave that Son of Osiris, just to make sure Bolt doesn't go down on him. Forward monument right here, like just delete your monument to the, as a raid goes on right here, I didn't notice that, just kicking off that gold mine there with a couple of centaurs, really nice. All he has to do is leave like a priest over here and a spearman, and that would never happen, but anyways, yeah, the Bolt's still up. Bolt can, he's kind of worthless with monuments everywhere, and he just has to be really careful with monument placement if he wants to use them offensively. You can delete your monument to the villages, move it forward as ceasefire does go off, and then use that like really well like that, and you can actually get away with using Son of Osiris against a Zeus player if you've got good monument placement and you know the range of that monument and what you can do. Now what we're going to see is Mista. Mista's got no armory upgrades, he's got 80 favor. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he was throwing up some more armories, but he is. He's actually also throwing for temple. He's got all of this stuff happening for him right now. I wouldn't put it past him to put up some barracks now. He's actually got 3 barracks already to start pumping out Myrmidon. I would actually delete that house because that's making life really difficult for that gold mine over there. Probably even take that gold mine there, wall off this location over here, and he'll be really good. And we do see that because of that ceasefire, not much is going to happen here with the Hells' timing for Mista in terms of Heroic Mythic Age timings, because both players are going to be in Mythic Age obviously. Heavy Toxotoads upgrade complete, medium Hippocon upgrade complete. We do see that the armory upgrade for Mista was instantaneously bought, which was really good for him. Getting on top of those upgrades as soon as you hit the Mythic Age is really important. However, focusing that siege tower is really bad. It looks like because of that, it means that Mista has to start shift clicking. What he has to do is you have to hold shift, right click on those units so they don't attack these siege towers. Really easy in terms of micro and like, but you have to do it because these siege towers are the things that they will focus. With these Colossus into the fray, they're really going to do nothing if if mummies start popping out, and I don't see any. Maybe he's forgotten about it. Okay, I can't find any. However, Priest's going to come into the fray. They're going to be trying to take out this Colossi who's soaking up a bunch of damage from those chariot archers, those war elephants, and everything else. As Bellerophon jumps into the fight, he's going to be a nuisance for Hells to deal with. As Watchtower's pumping up right now, and we're going to see these Colossi just trying to run back to this gold mine or to that those trees, just to try and stay alive for a little bit longer and tank for a little bit. He's just unlucky. He was trying to stay alive. He wanted to stay alive. He just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. As upgrades for Mista now pumping out, he's got all those couple upgrades popping out really quickly, and if he just keeps that up, then he's going to have a really strong army, and Hells is not going to be able to deal with it, especially with Myrmidon coming into the fray. They're medium Myrmidon as well, and all of that good stuff's going to be incredibly difficult to deal with. He needs Axemen out, and he needs these Watchtowers up, and he needs to have more army, but really at the moment Hells is struggling right now. He's got 30 gold, 30 villagers gathering gold plus trade route, which is not what you need at this point. He needs to have like at least 35 food villages, a bunch more wood so he can pump out siege towers, and then be spamming everything that he can. He needs these priests out, he needs mummies out, and he needs to be playing a little bit smarter here in terms of army composition and economy composition. Something just happened then as a bunch of villages just finished on that, so he's got a bunch of idle villages, which is not going to help him at all, as these Colossus coming through, picking off everything, and he's got Myrmidon focusing down this Migdal stronghold, so it's not going to stay up for very long either. And we do see that the armory upgrades of Mysta are almost done. Actually, that's not the smartest thing. He's got the armory upgrades using the same armory. He'll have to fix that next time he plays this strategy. And furthermore, Mysta just pushing in now, going to be taking out this location really easily. There's only a mummy in here, who's really the only threat, and he actually just takes out the lowest health Colossi there. Was not checking the health. What you need to do, a really smart thing to do, is simply select the enemy army, just to see where the health is, the units which you should pick up first, the really low HP units you should pick off first. It's really smart, and especially when you're using special abilities like Mummy there. You could have killed off both Colossi if you focused with a Priest on the low health one, and a Mummy special ability over there on that Colossus. As now Mysta coming in here, going to be attempting to take down this location with those Myrmidon and those heavy Toxodos to pick up anything else, and we do see that basically Mysta splitting up his army, sending those Toxodos over here to deal with these trade, make sure that Mysta's gathering no more, Hells is gathering no more gold, and he's going to just continue to do that sort of thing. That Migdal stronghold is going to fall incredibly quickly. It's got no masons, no architects, no nothing. It's just sitting there, dying to those heavy Myrmidons. So you do see Iron Shield's finishing upgrading. He's getting that Weapon of the Titans upgrade, and he is steamrolling at the moment. At this point, Hells tried to hit a timing with the Mythic Age, but as I said, with Ceasefire you can dictate when the fights can happen, and he basically said to Hells, I don't care what your strategy is, I can dictate what's going on here. And of course the Ancestor Eclipse was wasted, and it's going to be very hard for him to come back in from this location. Trying to get this Migdal stronghold up here to hold on to this position. He's got one Migdal stronghold popping up here. He's sitting at, what's he sitting at in terms of population? He's actually sitting at 138 of 169 pop, and he's got a bunch of these mercenary pumping out at the moment. So basically he needs to stop this location from dying just because it's his corner, and he needs that trade route. But with Mysta just pressing in here, he's actually also got an underworld passage over here. Wow, that's just going to shut the game down completely. There's nothing which Hells can do now to stop this from happening. He can't wall off, he can't do anything. And there's the deletion of some markets there. Hell's now building a market over in this corner. However, Mysta's already on top of that. He's got a fortress over here. He can start sieging that with a catapult, and then stopping any sort of trade route from happening. Now Mysta's just going to push through this location, probably take out that town center, because there's really nothing which Hells can do to stop this. I mean, he needs more favor. He's got 45, so he can produce a mummy, but he needs more favor, and he needs more mummies, and he needs like more units and more economy, and everything which seems to be going on here is just not going on right. Because the thing is, Mysta has villages, better villages. I don't think the upgrades. Oh, the upgrades are pretty good. He doesn't have the gold upgrade though. That's why he's struggling for gold. However, he doesn't have Plenty Vault, which is basically worth another 20 villages. I think it's roughly 20 villages. In any case, I just think that at this point, Hells can't come back, because I mean, like, he can keep on fighting here because he's got mercenary, but he doesn't have that corner anymore. And these caravans, well, that said 90 gold. I don't see many caravans left, and I can't say anything. Oh well. And we do see that Hell's now trying to micro a little bit, and just to hold this location. However, a fortress going up for Mysta. The underworld passage in the middle of the map. Fortress over here, going to be trying to push through here. Gold mine getting extinguished over here. He's only got this gold mine over here now, and basically there's Mysta just completely dominating with this strategy. Just really strong stuff going on here. Lebanon's now picking off the siege towers, and it's just really impressive player by Mysta here. Really dealt with what Hells had and just countered it perfectly. And basically, like, this location over here gonna go down, and that's gonna spell GG right there. Those caravans bringing 37 gold in, not anymore. And GG, Hells does tap out. Just to go over it again, like, the mistakes which both players played correctly in strategic sense. Like Hell's strategy countered Mister's strategy to a, like both players' strategies countered each other's. Like in some respect, they both were adapting and understanding what the other person was doing, and then attempting to play like a little chess game. Like Mister saw that Hells was going for 2 town centers, so Mister said, "Okay, you're going 2 town centers. I'm going to grab 3 town centers." And then Hells said, "Okay, you're going for 3 town centers. I'm going to go and stay on 2 town centers and try and get aggressive and punish you for this." Now, what happened was Mister didn't really do anything. Mister tried to put on some aggression, which wasn't really anything, and Hells just said, "Okay, I'm backing off here. I can't deal with this aggression," even though he could. And then said, "Ancestors Eclipse." He didn't scout out. He didn't see a wall there, so it was wasted. And then 2 God Powers gone. Mister still had Underworld. Mister still had Ceasefire. Mister still had Bolt. Mister still had his Heroic Age, Mythic Age GP coming up, and all of that stuff went downhill from there. And then Hell said, "Well, okay, my aggression failed. I know you're going to be going to the Mythic Age. I'm going to just jump to the Mythic Age now and try and counter you in the Mythic Age with Osiris." And Osiris is not a counter to Hephaestus, but it is a good choice in terms of what you can do. And because mummies counter Colossi, a Son of Osiris can be used to counter Bellerophon, can be doing massive amounts of damage. And then the second Pharaoh comes out to further deal with any Colossi, and the only thing you really have to deal with is the Champion Myrmidon, which you need Axeman for. So you have all of these mummies, you have Son of Osiris to deal with any Toxotos, and then you have Axeman to deal with Myrmidon. So basically that counters it, but the thing is, Zeus is just so powerful, it doesn't really matter that your units technically counter. It doesn't mean anything, so Mister can just say, "Okay, well I can just do what I want. I can just play the correct way and then push through." If Hells didn't waste Ancestors Eclipse, I feel like his push would have won the game. Like if he had pushed out, used Ancestors Eclipse well, he could have taken this town center here, that gold mine which was here, and then that gold mine over here would have extinguished. He could have secured that gold mine there, and it would have been GG right there. Anyways, my name is BoIt. Thanks for watching. I'll be back really shortly with game number 2.